With Flickr Commons, you're going to move your mouse up to the web address bar, give a click, you can delete what's up there. You don't want to do this in the Google search bar, and you type www.flickr.com/commons. And when you press return, it's going to bring you to this Flickr page, and you'll see here in the middle it says the Commons. Now, the biggest thing that you have to remember is that when you're working with Flickr Commons, you do not want to click in this top search bar because that searches all Flickr's photos, people, or groups. You want to move down the screen. You're going to see the welcome. It's going to show you some of the participating institutions who contribute to the Flickr Commons. It says a Commons sampler, and so you can see some photos that you might want to be using. And then you'll click in this box here and you'll say search the Commons. So if I was looking for Teddy Roosevelt, I would go into this search box, click search, and what you're going to see is a variety of images of Teddy Roosevelt, items related to him, places related to him. And the concept behind Flickr's Commons is that they're all copyright-friendly images. Many of them are from the public domain, so you could use them to whatever purpose. Many of them are from the Library of Congress. This is an example here. When you click on the picture, it's going to show you the picture in a larger size. It will show you underneath the picture what are the known copyright restrictions. So there are no known copyright restrictions. Since this is from the Library of Congress, it's available to us to use. Finally, if we choose to download this photo, you're going to move your mouse to the lower right corner. It's a little down pointing arrow. When you give it a click, it's going to give you the option for many different sizes of the photos. So the original is 1024 by 747 pixels. For your purposes, you might want something a little smaller. So if the students were going to be making a presentation in PowerPoint, maybe you'd only want the medium size. I'm going to click medium, and it's going to download it to my downloads folder. Here's the file right here. I already have a shortcut to my downloads folder, which I'm going to open up. I happen to be on a Mac, so it would look different on Windows. And here's the photo. Now, it does come down with a very odd file name, so I can right-click on that and rename it. So I could call this Teddy Roosevelt 1. Press enter to lock the name in, maybe drag it to my pictures folder. And when I double click on it, it's going to open up the file. Now I asked for it to be the size 1040 by 480. I'm looking at it in actual size, so this is the size it will be in my PowerPoint when I use it. The next important point about these images are how to give attribution for the photo. So if I click here on Flickr The Commons and I look at the rights statement, these images are in the public domain maybe because the copyright has expired or because somebody failed to uphold the rights for for copyright. The institution owns the copyright but's not interested in exercising control, which is really probably the largest portion of the photos here. And they have legal rights sufficient to authorize others to use the work without restrictions. So we can use these photos for whatever purpose we'd like. Now, just because it's in the public domain doesn't mean that we shouldn't give the photo a citation. So what I did was I went to EasyBib, and in EasyBib I asked to cite a photo. So this type of photo is not a personal photograph. It asks what the photo's title is. So we can come over here to Flickr, and underneath Library of Congress, which is where it came from, in bold, is the name of the title of this image. So I'm going to highlight that, right-click and copy it. I'll right-click and paste into the photo title. What collection or museum is this? And so what we saw over here is this is the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress. City or place where the photo is located. And so the repository is the Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. And the year it was created is up top here, sometime in 1912, so we'll say 1912. And we don't need anything with the contributors. We saw it. We could say that it came from a website. The website title is Flickr. The website address, the URL, I'm going to go back to the photograph. And usually, I mean, you could highlight this entire thing, but usually the photograph URL is everything up to the word in. So I'm just going to delete all of this extra stuff because it is an awful lot. So now it's just the Flickr Photos Library of Congress and the photo number. When I press return just to check it out, that is the photo. So that's the entire web address. I'm going to highlight that whole web address, the URL, and copy that. And I'm going to come here into the URL and paste it in. Display URL, leave it out unless the source cannot be located without it. I'm going to leave it in. And today's date is the 29th of June, 2015. And now I'm going to create my citation. And so EasyBib gives it to me properly formatted. I'm going to highlight everything, right click and copy that. And if I was creating a presentation, what I would have my students do, and let's call this Teddy Roosevelt. Mrs. Oro, Social Studies, June 2015. I usually give my presentation a title. I'm going to insert a new slide. And the presidency. And I'm going to go ahead and get my photo from my pictures folder. I would put down here the notes that I'm going to say to the people I'm presenting to. I'd add all of my slides in, and finally at the end I would have my citations, so the biggest thing that we want to always do with our students is make sure that we share our citations. And if I was doing this as a presentation for my class, I would still have my citations. But as a teacher, what I would do at the very least is insert a text box and paste in at least the website address. It's very, very important that we help our students understand that we show respect for copyright as well as the fact that they should. And what I might say is public domain from the Library of Congress. So please make sure that you're helping your students understand the importance of citing your sources. And this isn't just for them, it's for us too.